Hello Gemini, Happy New Year to you. This is your 2015 forecast. It's a busy year and I think a lot of excitement for you happening this year, Geminis. All the Mercury retrogrades, because Mercury is your ruler, are in air signs. One of them in your sign as well, of course. So these Mercury retrogrades are going to get you really thinking. I think you're going to be coming up with some amazing ideas, some solutions to problems that you may have been battling with or bothering you for a long time. I think these Mercury retrogrades, if you use them to have some quiet time and some reflective time, are going to be great for you. Saturn going to be in Sagittarius, already there now, but has a brief respite into Scorpio in the middle of the year, but Saturn in Sag, also mutable like you are. Later in the year, Jupiter going into Virgo, so there's a lot of changes happening. There's a mutable energy to the planets, so you're going to be able to weave your energy in and out of things, changing your mind, Geminis, as you like to do. I think that this year you're going to be able to change your mind and be able to be successful with whatever changes you choose. So let's break down the year, starting with this first Mercury retrograde. And it's from January the 22nd until February the 11th. Don't worry, at the end of the video, you'll have a list of the important dates and what those aspects are to refer to, just in case you don't catch the dates as I'm going along. So this first Mercury retrograde happening for you, Geminis, in your 9th house. Well, you might be reflecting on taking a trip, going somewhere that you've not been to before. It's a great time for reflecting on any kind of learning, any kind of higher education you might want to get. It's a wonderful time for deciding to go on a retreat, just taking some time out. It's a wonderful time for reflecting as to how you can connect internationally with more people far and wide, because that Mercury retrograde, if you use that during that time when Mercury goes direct from February 12th, you can take some actions that could be very profitable for you, very good. So what's also happening this year, a lot of the time, is that Venus and Mars are coming together, which is unusual that it happens so many times between now and November. Usually it only happens for a few weeks, but let me fill you in on the first one, which is between February the 20th and March the 17th, where we've got Venus and Mars coming together in Aries, here in your 11th house. Geminis, this is refreshing everything to do with your friendships. Could be a romantic friendship, could be new friendships, new people coming into your life. You might get in touch with a group of people that you feel really in tune with. And with the Uranus energy there, you start to feel really inspired. Yes, this could be a really exciting time for you. So I would say, Geminis, really make sure you're getting out and about during that time period, because you could meet some really interesting people and they just feel very lively and sociable. Now, from February the 24th until March the 9th, we've got this lovely aspect of Jupiter trine to Uranus. So we've got Uranus up here in your 11th house, Jupiter in your 3rd. This trine, lots of new and exciting ideas coming to you. Yes, you may work in a team of people and come up with a groundbreaking idea. Something tremendously exciting, something maybe humanitarian, something that can really help people, something that can move us on to a whole new area. You might come up with a discovery, an invention, an idea. This could be extremely exciting. You also may take an exciting trip that could really just open your eyes to something completely new, some new ideas. Now, from March the 12th to the 28th, only a couple of weeks, we've got this square energy going on between Pluto and Uranus. I should have made this trine in blue, because that lets you know that that's a very positive aspect. This is a challenging aspect, but it's the final pass. It's the final square of Uranus and Pluto. So it's this final push for you, Gemini, to look at finances, how you use money, maybe how you can help other people with money. Not only yourself, but maybe by helping others, this gets your finances going. Sometimes when you focus on helping other people, all of a sudden, magically, your finances fall into place. Maybe you're going to volunteer your services, do something that you feel passionate about for free, and then that helps others and in turn helps you. That's how that aspect could work in your favour. From March the 31st till April 11th, we've got Venus and Mars coming together again in your 12th house. They're in Taurus here. So this is energizing your spiritual side. You may find yourself tying up some loose ends. Great time to do that. Great time to do any research. Great time to get something going, but behind the scenes. You could get really some good information, and here this Venus energy could bring somebody from your past back into your life, just for something to get resolved and maybe dealt with. May the 18th until June the 11th, that's an important date because that's when Mercury goes retrograde in your sign. So this Mercury retro in your sign, you will be re-evaluating everything about how you present yourself, how you want to be seen, how you speak, how you talk, how you come across. It will be an opportunity for you to reflect about that. And when Mercury goes direct after June the 11th, then that will be time to take the action. So I would say allow yourself plenty of time with traveling, give yourself lots of leeway, because there could be just some minor nuisances that maybe have to be dealt with. June the 15th to the 28th, we get another hit of this glorious Uranus and Jupiter energy. So be open to new ideas. Be open to some crazy ideas that you might turn into something that's money-making. You might team up with somebody else or a group, and you really do something that's valuable and feels good to you. Now, Saturn is going to be in your 7th house for quite some time, but between June the 15th and September the 18th, Saturn goes to its final little reverse retro back into your 6th house. So what this is doing, Geminis, it's checking on you. It's saying, are you being disciplined with your health? Are you eating well? Are you resting when you need to rest? It's kind of like a little checkup during those 3 months, making sure you've got some good structure going on as far as work is concerned. But for most of the year, certainly for the first 6 months of the year, and then from September the 18th until the end of December 2017, we have got Saturn in your 7th house of relationships, Gemini. Now don't panic. This is not something to panic about. It could be the best thing that's happened to you. Many of you will find a serious partner during this time and get married or get into a committed relationship. For those of you who are in a difficult relationship, maybe there's some tough times to work through, but if you can work through them, by the end of 2017 the relationship will be stronger than ever. So don't be frightened of this Saturn influence. It's just giving you an opportunity to create more boundaries, more structure in your relationships. Maybe people have been taking advantage of you. Maybe you've been compromising too much. These are all issues that can come up with this Saturn energy in your 7th house for several years. Also from July 25th until September the 6th, we've got Venus going retrograde. Now this is important, doesn't happen every year, but this retrograde of Venus happening in Virgo initially from July the 25th until the end of July, so just the first few days. Venus rules your finances, and it also rules your relationships. With it being in your 4th house, this may be reflecting on how comfortable do I feel in my home surroundings? Am I feeling comfortable? What can I do to make myself feel more secure and just more at home? Is there something I can do? Maybe reflecting on relationships with your family or your very close people. What happens during the retrograde is it slows down the processes of anything connected with money and relationships. And then all of August and until the 6th of September, Venus coming into this 3rd house retrograde. So this is reflecting now on your interactions with people. your relationships with people, your social relationships. Time to reevaluate those. Maybe some of them need to go or be redefined during the retrograde. Now, for much of the year, for the first until August the 11th, we've got Jupiter in your 3rd house. So this is stretching you, Geminis. Great time for learning, for studying, for gaining some new skills. Great time to network. Boy, the networking, you can go crazy with it and meet some really wonderful people, maybe some influential people who can really help you with your career or your work or wherever you want to take your life. But it's a great time for connecting. Then from August the 11th until September the 10th of 2016, we've got Jupiter in your 4th house. So towards the latter part of the year and then much of next year, this Jupiter is going to, many of you will move. Many of you will decide to move, to sell up, to move somewhere else, maybe move to a different state, even a different country. Many of you will decide that you need to renovate, upgrade, do something to your home surroundings. For many of you, it can bring you some good fortune with your home, your family, something to do with family and the people around you. And from September the 17th until October the 9th, we've got Mercury going retrograde as well in this 4th house of home. So it's going to be an important time to be thinking about your home base, your security. What makes you feel secure? What changes do you need to make? So if you're planning on a move, this retrograde will make you really reflect on that move. You'll also be reflecting about your relationships with your family members or people who feel like family, or maybe reflecting on getting more solitude, more quiet time to yourself. And from October the 8th to November the 8th, we have got Venus and Mars in Virgo happening here in your, where's Virgo gone? Sorry. Venus and Mars in Virgo, all happening here. So energizing again anything to do with home, with family, with people close to you. This can really smooth over at this point any ruffled feathers, any arguments, disputes. This can really help to calm the energy and to bring back some harmony and peace into that area of your life. And finally, between November the 12th and December the 4th, we've got Venus and Mars moving into your house of romance, Geminis. What could be nicer? If you're looking for a romance, this is a wonderfully opportune time for that. Venus and Mars energizing anything that you do with children should be well aspected. Anything that you do with sports, taking risks, and energizing a business, especially self-employment. Anybody in the entertainment industry, you could be noticed, especially during this time, or anybody doing anything artistic or creative. And do remember that creative isn't just arty-farty stuff. Creative can be very creative as a computer software designer, engineer. You can be very creative in that way. So don't discount yourself. We all have different creative skills. This is where it's lying for you, Geminis. So we've got this focus on relationships this year, a lot around relationships. Pluto, of course, is still going to be for many more years in this 8th house, but it's got this final stress is going, I think, with respect to joint finances, other people's resources. Hopefully you will have freed yourself of any nasty or difficult situations, maybe a divorce, finances, all of that should be freed, hopefully, by the end of March, when you've got this final pass of the Pluto square to Uranus. So, I wish you a wonderful year. I'd love to look at your personal chart about what these aspects mean for you. So do get in touch. And thank you for commenting, for sharing, for emailing me. I always do love to hear from every single one of you. Bye for now.